Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. We've been tearing it apart around here. For those of you that have eyes in the school, I'm knocking them out. So you'll start getting them in the mail soon. Matter of fact, we mailed the first batch out 2 or 3 days ago, and so every day I'm giving them a stack of them, so they should be getting them to you. And then you can see what all the areas you need to work on, but a lot of you already know your eyes because you're learning iridology. And I love that. What a science. We need to build up this science and smack those old medical doctors that didn't use it, that let it go. It's like, you guys let something go. You need it back. But they wouldn't know how to use it in regard to people's health. And I want to thank 303. 303, I've been sucking down those little oranges. Those little bitty things, those are good. And was those passion fruit in there, by the way? I can't keep people's hands out of that. Clementines, those are delicious. 303, mwah! Now, this is some pretty stuff. I hope they don't mind we show it. Guess where that came out of? Wasn't the kidneys. Nope. Yeah. Tracy? This is addressed to Chris. Yeah. I mean, this is a practitioner sent this to us in regard to one of their clients. They've had a lot of bowel problems through their life. And this lady has been getting this out in her stools about 18, started this stuff in her stools about 18 months ago, shortly after she began juicing and eating about 70% raw. And this thing, at 70% raw, her body's expecting this out. My guess, this probably might even have some sulfur in it, although it does tend to turn the body orange. But yeah, this is just strands of mucus and mucoid plaque. It's not black though. No. You know, the years of impactions from white flour products creates this film. A lot of times when you use charcoal to get it out, it turns black, but it can come out like this. But yeah, it follows the bowel pattern, like the wall of the bowel. And so a lot of this is probably on the lining of the bowel, but you shouldn't be getting it out every time. If she's getting this, I mean, this is all in big chunks and pieces, and this is all strings and stuff like this. Well, I would definitely want to deworm her and everything else. You know, go after any tapeworms or anything like that, and just really get in the GI broom. And wow, this lady's had some interesting things come out of here. It looks like a sleeve or a skin, and you see that a lot of times, and that's that mucoid plaque that gets on that wall. And it could be pulling from the wall, and who knows, but this is all in one piece, or several little pieces, but pretty long. I don't see any reference to length to see how long we are here, but definitely gnarly stuff. Not breakfast of champion food, but good job. Good job. I mean, this lady's had bowel problems all her life, and so getting this out has to feel really good. And I might say that malabsorption would be very, very much considered when you see this stuff, and this would be the stuff of malabsorption. You know, where it would plaque up on the bowel wall. I don't know how to pronounce your name. It's Raw Food Solutions. Mizpah asked me about glandulars here. I would probably stop the hypothalamus. I would probably stop that one as it has a residual kick to the thyroid and then can increase heart rate. Because he got a little tachycardia when he started the hypothalamus and the cortex and medulla. The medulla has the potential to increase neurotransmitters, which is why we use them. And increasing neurotransmitters increases your performance of your autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is, of course, the emotional side, and sympathetic, parasympathetic, adrenals particularly sympathetic. So how that all works with all the functions of cells from the activity of the muscles to the production of insulin. All levels that does the nervous system perform. So, possible medulla, but my guess is going to be the hypothalamus area of the body, and I would probably DC that one and continue down your pathway of enhancing adrenals. Next time, get the whole adrenal complex there. This is a repost, so thank you for reposting this. I apologize that I have not gotten to this, okay? This is ACDCBCFC family, okay? But I've watched the videos and haven't. Basically, I have a nodule on the right side of my thyroid. Now, this is common. This is common as the sun coming up. People have nodules in their thyroids all the time, and they can spend a lifetime with them in there with no problems whatsoever. For me, I'm one of those lymphatic thinkers. We got to get the lymph moving and get this nodule out of there. Whenever you see a nodule, you see a polyp, you see a cyst, you see a tumor, you automatically know that it's going to be filled with interstitial fluid. Since that's the only real fluid that's available everywhere, you're going to see it full of interstitial fluid, which is blood and lymph. More lymph, generally speaking, than blood, of course, but some of these tumors, you see the blood aspects of that. And it's just when you're not filtering properly. And this is common in the thyroid, particularly without tonsils, of course, but it's very much so, giving you an indication that there is some GI tract problems as well. It's all this filtration and all this backing up of lymph. Never forget the GI tract in its role, even though we don't know 100% how that's affected the lymph in that way. It has its own lymph system to deal with. I have a nodule on the right side of my thyroid that was biopsied a few weeks. Last fall I was told that the cells were benign, but now the surgeon is saying we need another biopsy to see if the cells have differentiated and that they will recommend removing my thyroid if the cells are cancerous. You know, this is going back to this whole stupidity. If you have a cancer cell, remove the tissue. Well, what do you think your immune cells are there for and your lymphatic system's there for? And that's what they don't get. So then they remove the guy's thyroid, and then the rest of his life is pure hell. You know, that isn't where it's at. It isn't where it's at. I did a 10-day watermelon fast and had amazing results. Good deal, but have not been good in terms of consuming 100% fruit since you recommend formulas for me to dissolve this nodule. Or can you? I have a lot of right-sided issues, so then you know your kidneys and adrenals are right-sided there, man, including the nodule and the long history of right-sided scapula and neck pain. Thank you. Listen, that's all lymph. All that pain and stiffness, even the frozen shoulders. I mean, that just shows you that this whole right side isn't filtering through that right kidney. Now, you can't do anything about right side over left side, but at least you're aware that this is the side that and the kidney that you're having trouble with. Just go after your kidneys. You would go after your GI tract to get, to open up this trunk of the tree. So if it was me, I would do stomach and bowel, whichever one, you need. Generally speaking, 1 or 2 is mostly what people use. I do the lymphatic 1 capsules if it was me, because it'll start pulling the bowel wall clean and all that. I'd probably do the kidney capsules, with the lymphatic 1 capsules I've been doing three times a day. I'm talking to Roger. Roger is our new counselor on board. He said hi the other day, and he's sitting in here with me for this a few weeks before he straps it on. He's already seeing his own clients, but he wants to come aboard. We've been friends for a lot of years. But you want to do a liquid lymph like lymph node 2 and really start pulling on that lymph. Do the GI broom, make sure those kidneys are working on filtering, get your adrenals up. Good adrenal cytotrophin or glandular or adrenal formula or endocrine gland formula, I don't care. But going that way and start moving lymph, I definitely would revisit the watermelon fast and I would revisit a high fruit detox while you're doing this. I mean, make it all work for you. While you're doing there and spending the money on the herbs, do the time on the raw and really start pulling that out of there, and then you'll be good to go. And you'll ward off any deeper problems. Removal is never recommended. You can't live without them. You can live without them, but boy, is time rough. And then if they remove the parathyroids, your calcium utilization of your body is so much compromised. I don't know how people keep their bones and skeletal structure without their thyroids and parathyroids. I don't.
How many situations you've seen to where the thyroid has grown back?
One.
One?
Only one. But you can keep in mind here, we've ran a small clinic for years. And we've always been busy, at least in the last 25 years. The first part, I was living in my clinic and couldn't afford to do any. I had to go work at the telephone company and then see my clients when I could stuff them in. So it was a lot different now, you know. But we haven't. When you're working in a practice like this, it cycles. Sometimes we have a bunch of quads or pairs, and sometimes we don't have any for years. It just cycles, you know. Some days you'll see that. Some days some people will come in and it's just prostate cancer day or breast cancer day, and they just come in, or weak. They come in by the groves. So in some cases we haven't had a chance to follow up with them. I'm working on a couple of cases now that they have their thyroids removed, and we're hoping to get the thyroid to grow back. I don't like to fool people in the sense that you're going to be well over a year in regrowing tissue. I mean, I've seen tissue grow a lot quicker, but you know, you're not going to regrow tissue in the state of health that the humans are in now until you get way up there. Did have one lady grow her thyroid back. Tonsils can. Someone asked me about lymph nodes on these, and that's just something I have a big question too. We don't have the ability to research and X-ray and things to observe these lymph nodes and everything, or ultrasounds. We just don't have that. Hopefully, that will become such a strong team that that a lot of medical researchers will take notice and say, "Hey, let's look and let's follow some of these cases." Good. And let them, you know, research and watch that. That's okay with me. I don't really give a hoot. We want them to become aware of these high levels of tissue rejuvenation. And so I would love to be able to watch more, but people don't have the money. They come with me for 2 or 3 months and then they're gone. We don't keep clients long because we're a curative modality. So when you're not going to keep your clients for years. We do. They're friends of ours. All my clients become friends because we are all friends. So, but financially, and then some people don't want to do the raw all the time, you know, so they break away. So you have a lot of reasons why clients leave and come back. Most of them come back, though, that don't get their remedy, you know, that leave before they get their remedy. And I can understand why this is a very difficult level to be at. Look at the controversy already. This level's breeding. It shouldn't breed any controversy. You know, we're arguing over nickels and dimes and things like that. But the reality is we have to be up at these higher levels to regenerate the human race, and that's what's important. And I think it's important that we keep educating our families and our friends and working with them, and then taking on our people that need help and working them out of it. And pretty soon, you know, we've changed the whole course of consciousness on the planet in every way. Like throwing a bucket of water in the ocean, you raise the whole ocean. Doc, when I take the herbal tinctures out with me into the extreme heat, I like to keep them on ice. But what is the temperature that I need to keep them below before they self-destruct? It is the same with capsules. Well, I don't think, unless, you know, like I said, 107 is when you start losing your waters. So I don't really like to keep herbs in anything, say, above 90, really. And all our herbs are in the house, which I keep the temperature of the house about 74, 75, because my body runs hot all the time. And I like to be cool a little bit, not cold. So definitely, this is Scorpius 662. Yeah, I would just keep them cooled down. It's not going to ruin the alcohol ones, but I would, yeah, I try to keep them out of anything above 90 or 95 myself. Most of these you're going to take down. Some people just use a little and they keep them around. I say, use up your herbs. They're good. They're nutritious. They're tissue specific. Use them up. You know, our herbs don't stay. You don't get old herbs from us much. I mean, if they do, it's stomach and bowel number 5 that very few people use a lot of, and maybe it's been on the shelf for 3 months. But we really turn our herbs over real fast. So you're getting real fresh tinctures and capsules. We really are. We have a high turnaround, and we don't keep that much inventory. So we keep moving it. So you always have access to fresh stuff. We just don't have old stuff. Now the pharmacy has a lot of material. Somebody wrote in showing some of the things we have in the pharmacy that has some undesirable chemistry. And this is one of the problems we run into in the world out there. When Brenda orders things, they sound good. They sound good. But when you get them in and you start reading labels like, oh, you know what I mean? Tom's was disappointing to me. Look at Jason Winters. You know, everybody used to love Jason Winters. And then his stuff's got undesirable. So this is the problem we have. So you have to kind of bend with us a little bit on that. Reaching a perfection of absolutely nothing in there that is undesirable is somewhat difficult, because people don't pay attention like we do to our herbal formulas. They don't, you know, in the world out there, there's a lot of capitalists that are even in the natural health field. And I had friends that told me all kinds, especially with some of these juices and some of this crap, what they're really doing. And it's like, oh, I just find man's lost his ethics and his desire to love his brother and his desire to say, I made this for you, this is really good. I grew these Rainier cherries, and man, are they really good. We've lost that. At least some people have. No, okay, so, yeah. Why is it okay for Dr. Morris to judge people that do the 80-10-10 diet? Now, I don't judge. If you realize that wasn't a judgment, you asked an opinion, I gave it. It's that simple. You ask me an opinion, don't ask me if you don't want to know. That's what I have to say. If you don't want to know something, or my opinion, don't write it in these things, because you're going to get it, because you're asking me my opinion. And then you say that I'm judging because I gave you my opinion? No, 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 no. That's 1909 art. No, back off of that and think again and revisit that video. You know, when you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer this question. If you take it out of context or whatever, if I make a remark about protein, that's because I don't like protein. It's just that simple. So don't say I'm judging. It has nothing to do with that. You ask me my opinion. Yes, maybe I shouldn't have opinions, but then I'd be sitting here in front of you all the time being a holy man, and that's all I'd be. I would be nirvanic, and I wouldn't be giving you anything. And that's not how life works. I believe that we're all friends, and that we all tied, we're all the same, and that we should hold our hand out and help another. But don't ask me an opinion and then come back on me like this and tell me I'm judging, okay? That's where you're off there a little bit. You know? Yes, and talked about, let's see, but says no one should judge anyone, see? I mean, this is the kind of consciousness that's out there on this, out there. Is they ask me opinion, then they throw it in, and once I give it, they say I'm judging. I'm not judging, that's my opinion. Because you know how I think about proteins and how I think about fats. You all know that already. So, I'm not down on Doug. I think for most people his diet's probably perfect. But we're in a healing modality here. We're in detoxification and regeneration. When we do detoxification, we ditch the 10-10 and we bring the 80 to 100. Get it? And when you regenerate at 100% fruits, berries, and melons, why would you kick lower? Consciousness, instability, all your you know, your karma things. So if you ask me something, I'm going to respond to it because you're asking me that. So don't say I'm judging when you ask me a question and I give you an opinion, okay? It's just an opinion. I feel the same way as Tracy. And then there's beyond an opinion. Like Durian Ryder, that's beyond an opinion. When you take take all your time and make an 8-minute movie about us, I appreciate that. Even though your mind is in some world far, far away, look at all the time they took to make that little 8-minute movie trying to discredit all this. And it's like a joke. And it's like these people are immature, unbelievable. And I want to thank those people in class that made that Thank You, Dr. Morris video. Was that not cool or what? Kind of the people that lifted me up with their fingers. Incredible stuff. That video was cool as all get out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want a nice sight here of these kind of loving people.
You have it.
We have it because we all work together, and I think we need to become a powerful force to be reckoned with. You're very aware of the government and your past position and everything. Roger coming aboard is at the same level we are, but he's had some lofty positions in certain areas of the government, and so he's very aware of things. Let me see, raw food solution. Well, that was the one we just answered about the glandular there. Yeah, I feel the same way as Tracy. I've been studying health and nutrition for over 20 years. Good deal. Including a degree in health science. Go for it. Postgraduate nutrition. Since watching your videos, I feel I have gained a deeper understanding of health than ever. Oh, good. Thank you so much, Raw Food Solution. You know what? I love your apple. The apple cut into a heart. Oh, that's cool stuff. I tell you, I still miss a good tree-ripe apple. You know, we had apple orchards around where I'm from, and God, I miss that. I miss biting into a tree-ripe apple. It's like, it's nirvanic. And yet, we've got these been in the freezer for a couple of years apples. Ooh, this looks like a still. This is FVNS Lifestyle. Fun. I know some of these words I got, it makes my mouth go like this, you know. It's like, oh. But I'm trying to see what they're doing there. Have you ever used DMT? If so, could you make a video about your experience? I will do that, Ricky. This is FVN. Funds. FVNS Lifestyle. Oh, this is Loria, 411, pretty girl. Hello, Dr. Morris, and all the wonderful souls. Thanks so much. I think we got a good team back there, guys. I really do. These guys are good, loving souls. We're putting, you know, they work hard out there. They try to please everybody. So we try, you know, and I love you and all the people that understand that and work together as a team. We're a good team. You guys are getting your healths back. We're understanding the higher levels, and I don't know. We're all on the journey together. You know, we'll weed out with what works and what doesn't work, and as the journey gets higher, we'll get higher. And some of these guys are going to find herbs and things for me that they've been using or that they know about that I don't. This is beautiful, because then we'll make more formulas. We'll get faster healing. We'll get deeper healing. That's all what I'm looking for. Can we get faster healing? Can we get deeper detox? Can we get those kidneys filtering faster? Can we get these things done better for these people so they don't live in pain so long?
Most effective.
Most effective, you know, and it's just working through this. And when I leave the planet, these guys are coming along. They're doing their own herbs. They're experimenting. It's just going to be cool stuff. I think it's neat stuff. So, Lorena, 411, cute girl. I'm not sure who can look at my eyes and give me a quick overview. Well, send them in to me, sweetheart. I'll give you a quick overview over the YouTube. That's the best I can do, is just a quick overview on the YouTube. Send them to Chris, and then he'll take them off, and I'll talk about them over here. Just a quick overview with them. You've seen with the ones I've done before, and we'll do that for you. Where I should start my journey to wellness. Maybe Chris's email. Exactly. That's a place, sweetheart. Any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, give me your eyes and I'll go over them for you, sweetheart. Hugs and love, Laura. Thanks, you, Laura. Same here. Appreciate it, honey. I'd be happy to help you in any way. Give me your eyes and I'll give you a quick overview, dear. This is Kevin Patrick, 77. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is like a hummingbird or something. Jeez, that's beautiful. Just beautiful. Wouldn't it be nice to just start planting flowers everywhere and pulling back the butterflies and the birds? And we're making one big concrete world. Well, where's the butterfly? My place is full of butterflies. Well, I have put flowers everywhere. So I got butterflies and birds all over the place. Squirrels, rabbits, bobcats. I'm a lone YouTuber user. That I don't know if I'm supposed to answer these, but here's my answers just for fun. This is what I've been asking. The 5 questions.
Okay.
What are some of the body's responses to acidosis and why? Kevin Patrick, you're the man. Stepping up, answering them. That's just what I wanted. Good guy. It uses calcium and cholesterol to neutralize the acids because it has to maintain a certain pH. This guy is right on. I'll send the acids to the lymph nodes to be alkalized by the lipids and act by the bacterial action in there. A. 2. What causes acidosis to settle into the tissue of the human body? Backed up lymph system. A. List some medical conditions that simply reflect acidosis. All the cancers, rheumatoid arthritis, and Addison's, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, Lyme. A. This is just what I want. I want you guys to ponder over these questions. Kevin, pop that out of there. Good man. Why is detoxification the answer to all and most of our conditions? Because it's the only way to turn on the kidneys and loosen up and move lymph. These guys are so good. It is. It is the only way to break open, get these acids out, and restore proper tissue function and regenerate genetic weaknesses. Yeah. What one diet and herbal protocol would benefit anyone or everyone? Predominantly raw fruit diet and herbs that strengthen the adrenals, kidneys, lymph, and the bowels. This guy gets 5 gold stars and double A's. He's the only one that stepped up real quick. You guys, you're going to have to keep up with Kevin Patrick. He's going on down the road, man. This guy is honking. I'll get you the 5 more questions. What's Friday tomorrow, my day off? I need 3 days off. I haven't had any time off this last few weeks trying to keep with all this up. But, right, I'll try to come in and give you 5 more questions, or I'll do it Monday morning, one of the two. I'm going to make them tougher each time. Now, any of you YouTubers that have an appointment with me that are in person, if you want, YouTubers are wanting one filmed, I'll be happy to film your appointment if you like. I'm more than happy. Like we filmed Indiana Banana's legs. We only did a little of that because I don't want to invade anybody's privacy or anything. But if you really come in and you want to be filmed on YouTube, we'll do that. We'll film your case from the start to the finish. I'll show you how I interact with my clients, and you'll be able to observe the case all the way through the appointment. This will help some of you to get, how do you deal with appointments with people, you know? What do you go over? And really, you keep it simple always, because you want your client to be going like this when you're talking. They understand everything you're saying because you're taking and relating life experiences with this. And everybody's used a toilet, one level or another, and most people know what sewer systems are, somewhat. Maybe some of the ladies don't know what septic tanks are a lot, but it's easy to describe what a septic tank is, and that's a lymph node. So these things are easy to understand. It's easy to understand that you would not kill the bacteria in your septic tank when it was full and blame that on a full septic tank. You wouldn't do some of these things, and this will help you to relate why antibiotics fail people, why you keep having the same problems when you suppress with antibiotics, but they keep getting a little deeper each time, why we can't suppress nature, why we have to work with nature. And that's what naturopathy is working in harmony with nature and its laws. Because you don't buck nature's laws, because it'll come back at you and kick your butt. And we've been bucking nature's laws with the way we've been eating. We've been eating omnivorish, which is not a Homo sapien diet. Anthropology has suggested that in the past, but new anthropology is working a way out of that, understanding the Homo sapien is a tropical species, meaning a more frugivore species. Not difficult to come to those conclusions, quite frankly. We're a product of our chemistry, whether we've ingested it or however, and we're a product of that. So what we eat, drink, breathe, and what we put on our skin, we're a product of that. That's simple. Of course, that's flipped us into the emotions and all that karma, the emotions and mind and this whole thing. But if we understand creation, and that's why I think it's real important, no matter what religion you belong to, no matter what spiritual teaching you belong to, really understand how creation is put together. And we know how creation is put together, at least somewhat. So that's important to understand the different worlds or the different realms or the different heavens or the different bodies or the different dimensions. Doesn't matter what word we use here, but you are so much more than you realize. And people have to get with that. Who they are really as the soul, as the consciousness, and then the bodies they use to create dimension. to create activity, to create something other than oneself. You know that famous saying, that alone exists. And that simply means that there's only God that exists. So what's all this then? Oh, this is TONIMT 84. Love the tiger with the thing. Hi, Dr. Morris. When will it be possible to get your formulas from Europe? You can order them anytime you want. We're all through Europe. We're all through Europe. We have clients in about literally every country out there. We do. Sorry, China, but there is people trying to get herbs into your country. But I think everybody needs to get on the healing board. I don't care if it's China, Russia, whoever it is. But I don't think there's too many countries we don't have clients burning herbs. Some of the countries that the government didn't want the people to have the freedom that they should have, like Germany and Sweden, and they signed up on the Codex, the World Health Organization, little baby. I want to own you and control you and reduce the population by 90% association. Then it's hard to get herbs into those countries. Unfortunate. I think all countries have to understand it's about the people, not about the World Bank. It's about the people. World Bank never learned that, and yet it's people that probably run the World Bank till they get those, the new robots, the real self-thinking robots. Far Above Rubies. I haven't talked to this lady in a while. Beautiful name. Far Above Rubies. How beautiful is that? Natural Health College. Hello, Dr. Morris. I attend the Dr. Morris ND College of Natural Health every day by way of your YouTube videos. I think this is an excellent way to learn, and what we'll do is we'll definitely start recording some of the clients that are willing to have their stuff up. Well, a ton of our clients are totally into privacy things, and we're told that. But there's some that don't care. Me, myself, I wouldn't care. Hey, look, I've got a cancerous growth here. Look at this. This is the education, and I really would like to see more of that. Remember I showed you that tumor yesterday? These are the things we're in. We're right into the soup of things, and I think it'd be a good training to have situations, different cases up on the YouTube. I'd like to turn this totally into like she says, into a school, and kind of expand my detoxification school around this, because there has to be education at these levels, and people shouldn't have to pay for so much of that. And so, everything costs. Sitting and having somebody put herbs in a box and wrap it up costs. The box costs, the wrapping costs, everything costs. And I don't think people understand the level of that. That everything we do here, everything costs. Just water costs to drink it. And there's just everything. The pin costs that I burn up like crazy. I burn more pins up than Carter's got pills. There's no Indiana statement, Carter, when those are pills. Let's see, I have learned so much. Oh, thanks so much, Far Above Rubies. Thank you so much. I'll get a little deeper in anatomy and physiology one of these days. I'm not ready yet for that and all this, but I will give you a little abbreviated journey down the body someday, and we'll get into the different organs and glands, their role, their jobs. Because keep it simple, the body isn't that complex, and yet it's more complex than we can even understand. So we can't go down that road until we're so far above this world we can see it all. So we have to, when you're in the mix, you have to kind of be observant, and you'll see more. I will watch them all. Thank you so much, sweetheart. You're a good gal there. I also have been looking into the college, Kingdom College of Natural Health, because I am going to become a naturopathic doctor, master herbalist, iridologist. Yeah, honey. There's a big hug to you. How are we doing?
Good.
Good.
Just want to make sure
You need him?
No, I just want to make sure everything's good.
That's good.
All right.
It's good. I'd like to know if you are familiar with this. I am not familiar with this college. Matter of fact, I've been so busy in my practice and working with people, I really haven't looked so much out into the outer world, because I've done so much of that previously, and it's just so many machines and so many things, and this hurts people and that hurts people and all this stuff. It's like, nah, The simple approach always works. We've seen chiropractor after, and I have a lot of chiropractic friends, and I love them dearly. But some of them get into these machines. And I've trained some of these chiropractors, one guy in particular. Should have been, I helped him with a pancreatic cancer and a breast cancer, cured them both. So in terms of not diseases, but in terms of getting the body healthy and then them not having that trouble anymore.
Yeah.
So, and he was one of the top chiropractors of the country, the biggest chiropractic clinic in the country. He's the one that made standard process kind of what it is. And but when he started using his machines, he had 10,000 MDs in Australia, and they were, I think it was like 10,000. And he had a man that wanted him to come over and teach these MDs about this level of detoxification and all this. And he instead sent this man over that has this machine that analyzes and stuff, and it's such a funky thing, and it doesn't work. And so he lost his ability to heal, and then he went to school and became a medical doctor. Got to be careful about trying to cram too much in the intellectual side, because you'll start losing the simplistic side, and then you'll lose your ability to heal, and that's just what's happened. So then we get the clients from the person. It's like, no, you know, keep your ability to heal. Don't let anybody take you off your consciousness. Don't let anybody pull, because they'll try. That's the nature of the world you live in. You're gaining your spiritual awareness. You're gaining your knowingness and your strength. Now you're going to have all these little people biting on that. The Dorian writers of the world. They'll be biting on that because they don't realize they've become channels for some of these negative forces. So they come biting on that. It's okay to believe in that, but when you tear people apart like that, you've stepped over the line. And then when you start slandering, that becomes a criminal offense. So you have to be real careful here. And the problem is that everybody has their opinions. Okay. What works in clinical practice? I can only tell you what works in this clinic and what we've done for 40 years, and the proof is worldwide. We've got so many people out of pain and out of their cancers by focusing on their health issues as opposed to their illusionary diseases. So yeah, go to school. Naturopathic doctor, good, but there's so much misconception. Naturopathic doctors now have gotten themselves into high protein diets, and I had a lady come in, actually two clients in the last month that's been to naturopaths, put them on high protein diets. They all were sicker and worse, and they finally found me and came to me, and it's like, oh, well, that was an insult to our naturopathic brethren who are trying to do well, and then you have these naturopaths. Never in naturopathy was high protein ever taught, ever. If Bastyr and Southwest is doing it, then they're losing they should become medical colleges and forget naturopathy. You know, this is the thing that's out there, and I don't know, the only thing I can do is we build ourselves up as a group and as a powerful one, and that we change the way that way, because I don't know any other way. I think people should become herbalists, and I think you got a great idea, Fire Above Rubies. You should always get your herbal degrees. They're easy to get, and understanding that herbs are going to be where it's at. You see that already. You've experienced them. I've said this for years. It's not going to be about pharmacology anymore. It's too dangerous. People are getting killed. One day these pharmaceutical companies, there are ones already being criminally charged in France or in one of these places. And I felt that should have been happening a long time ago. When you're killing all these people, let's say you kill 200 or 300 people per drug. Is that acceptable? See, and some drugs kill thousands of people. But it's within that margin of kill ratios that they have. There's no kill ratio that's acceptable to me. Yes, somebody's going to die once in a while, of course. That's the nature of the planet. But when we're making chemicals, and we're you know, they should be held accountable. They're going to hold me accountable for my herbs. So my opinion is get your iridology for sure, and get your botanical degrees for sure. Get 2 or 3 of them. I've got 3 or 4 of them, and I got a bunch of them sitting there to finish up. Yeah, get a bunch of them. That way you have different opinions for different herbal schools, and then you know, you'll have what you need, and then you'll know about detoxing, and you just add that together. You don't have to spend a lot of years going to school, because you see how quick you can learn this. You're a good girl, honey. I've been into health nutrition since 1993. and very intensively since 2002. After being diagnosed with MS in 2002, I've always known instinctively that God put the cure for all diseases in His earth. You're right on, sweetheart. But don't know exactly. Well, again, with that MS, this is Kendra. Kendra, you know you're on the herbs, you're on the upper circ, brain and nerve. If I'm getting a hold of our beautiful lady, matter of fact, she just sent me some pictures here. Jurgita, the MS lady that's walking, her husband, the chiropractor. You get a hold of her and just follow down those same roads. You know, like I said, there's no neural rebuilding with vegetables. I can just tell you, I've had way too many cases. It is the fruit, berry, and melon level that is nerve regenerative. But also, I love the brain and nerve. I love the upper circ. These are things, and I'm going to keep coming out with. I've got a cell rejuvenator, and this has got the sumas, the American ginsengs, the Siberians, but it's got all the powerful babies in it, all the tissue rejuvenators, the cellular proliferators, and so makes it. I'm going to put a little, velvet antler in there too. This is going to be a very powerful bone marrow cellular rejuvenator, and I'm going to suck that baby down.
Are you excited?
I'm very. Can you tell? Yeah. I'm like a kid in a candy store. When I make formulas, man, everything is rocking because I only make them once in a blue moon, and when I do, the energy comes through me, and it's like, oh God, I have to do it. If I don't do it, and that's why I keep telling them to do research, and they keep waiting. I'm going, don't wait. It's coming. I got to do it.
Tell them about your depression.
Oh, I told him about the depression already. Every time I look at that formula, I smile. So I'm excited about that one, too. Thank you, Kendra. I love you, dear. It's time I got to pull off of these, I guess. With regards to the eyes, what could red veins on the white part mean? Well, that's the sclera, and every red vein there is related to different organs and glands in the body, just like the iris. I just happen to like the iris better. Sclerology, where you can see these reds. See where you can see these veins, and they all relate. Matter of fact, there's a particular capillary or vein that if it turns one way, it's going to be a boy. If it turns another way, it's going to be a girl. They have this down, and more medical doctors are learning this. I know acupuncturists use it a lot. For me, I can relate that to everywhere I see a lesion, a lacuna in the eye. You can always see a red vein and related to it. It's just that where there's a weakness, there's stress in tissue, the lymph is compromised, the blood's compromised, and therefore you see stress in tissue. It's like drinking or smoking or whatever. You see the eyes real red, or you just get tired. That's stress in the body, and or worse, weakening of tissue and everything else. So yeah. Sclerology, get a book and go after that. Don Spock wrote a little book years ago. I've had them around here somewhere, but this is Organic Superman, Dr. Morris, as an endurance athlete. Oh yeah. It's really need your opinions on pea and sprouted brown rice protein powders. I believe pea protein is from the yellow pea and is an isolate, and brown rice is a concentrate yielding 12 grams of complete protein per 18 grams. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you could use any of those things, to be quite honest with you. I think for power and endurance, alfalfa would be really cool. So if you could do something with alfalfa, make you a real strong alfalfa bar with chia seeds, maybe some hemp powder. I mean, fix yourself a little goulash or whatever, fix yourself something. There's all kinds of things you could do. I think you're going to love this new formula that's a cellular proliferator, because it's going to give major endurance. So, all these things, the God Blend, our superfood complex, I made that for as a food. You could take my superfood blend and just simply eat it, and that's all you need. Matter of fact, it has more chemistry than most animals ever get. Keep in mind, we as humans, we keep trying to more and more and more and more, but nature doesn't show us that. Nature shows us simplicity. better, better, better. It does. It shows us simplicity. So I'd rather go err on the side of God than I would on man right now. But yeah, you could do that, brown rice. But I think you could kick it up to a better powder with more nutrients and things like that with the chia or the hemp and the like the alfalfas and the kelps and things like that. Just takes a bunch of superfoods. Power up. But remember, the more you remove your obstructions to the flow of energy, both blood, nerve, and lymph, that takes the resistance away and gives you more energy and more endurance on less calories. See, this is what people don't understand. It's like everything else. It's like when you're working against resistance, you're burning more energy. So when you're moving resistance out of the body, I saw that as a high fruitarian. It was like, whoa, wait a minute, wait, how do I turn this down? Because I was moving the obstructions out, and neurologically it's like, whoa, I'm feeling everything. That's why you get too body conscious when you get too far out there. And then you start feeling every little thing going on in your body. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, I feel this, what's that? And then people just freak out when they have a little spasm here or a little thing here. It's like, I did that too, and I said, I just got to start getting out of my body instead of staying in it so much. I got to go anyway. But I like chocolate with avocado, but it is, that's what I'm talking about. Really something we should be, I don't know. You ever notice raw food solution? There's so many opinions about it. Somebody says keiko's good, and somebody says it's bad, and you da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, everybody's got an opinion about foods. I don't eat that, to tell you the truth, so I don't know. I don't consume raw chocolate like that. I know David Wolf was heavy into it, and we carried it, and I think the pharmacy still has it out there, but we don't know. I mean, you just go by everybody's opinions, this and that. And it's like, who has the true answers? That's why I'm more of a God person and rely on that. But I don't know what to say. There are just so many opinions, and this scientific study or that scientific study, and one neutralizes the other, and blah, 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 blah. I've seen so many of those. That's why I'm an opinion the way I have, because I've read so many. This mind used to really like to tear it apart. And now this mind, I like to shut it up. I mean, Jesus. I mean, God, it's unbelievable. So I think simplicity always. I think nature teaches us that. I think there's no denying we're frugivores and looking at the bodies. Yes, no, we're not going to be able to be frugivores for quite a few generations myself. Probably going to be another 100 years for man can truly be a frugivore again. That's if everybody was on board regenerating the kids and working out of this, growing good fruit, picking it properly ripe and all this stuff. Yeah. Is man going to go that way? I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know. In the moment, giving love and helping others, that's what matters, because that opens your consciousness and stops the creation. There's a level where everybody's creating and they have all this karma, and then there's a point where you just want to go home. You want to rest. It's time for you get ready and pack up and start moving on to your next journey or wherever. Well, you want to end the karma. Well, quit creating and start giving. Become the giver. And those that give get a lot more than they give. And I can only tell you, give God and it'll give you a lot more than you give. So with that, you all have a great fun day. I love you all. And keep going after your health, and thanks for the questions. I'll kick this up here soon, when we'll get more into maybe some anatomy and physiology, and we'll get into some life cases and stuff like that. I don't know to what level I can show gnarly stuff on the YouTube. Probably not much. So I want to keep it kind of civilized. In school, you get to see all the gnarly. All right, have a fun day. See ya, and be careful with the raw cacao. Bye-bye.